Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Flatlands SMP. My name is Injur. This should be episode 7, and I actually have a pretty big plan for you guys today. I have a pretty massive project plan, and it involves quite a lot of dirt. I'm not sure how long this is going to take me, but I plan on planting kind of a forest. And if you're wondering what I'm doing here with the coarse dirt, I'm trying to actually duplicate our dirt here using transformation into coarse dirt method. We're obviously in a desert, so we need to get as much dirt as possible, and the best way to do that is to combine it with gravel. And yeah, we can pretty much duplicate it. In fact, the total number of dirt I'm going to need is 1006. The number 1006 actually does have a bit of significance to it. Pretty recently, we did the 2020 Cakecore Marathon, and in it we raised $1,006 for charity. I was there, James was there, Pat Nat was there, every member of the SMP was there. James and I did face reveals. It was pretty fantastic, and it lasted 24 hours. And obviously, at the end, we raised $1,006. The idea was that we would put the names of every donator in a donor server monument. However, toward the end of the marathon, I'm told, I was asleep, so I didn't, participate in this, but I was told that they unfortunately didn't get to that part. They never filled in the names. Now, I don't exactly have the names of the donators, but I figure I can do a little bit of something on the Flatlands SMP. Because obviously it is a Cakecore related server. In fact, it might be the only Cakecore server up right now. So partially because we never made a donor server, and partially because I feel bad because I fell asleep for the second half of the marathon, I'm going to be making a forest monument essentially, and that's just going to be I plant a tree for every dollar that was donated. Unfortunately, we're not in 1.16 yet, so we can't get what the heck. Apparently we have a trader llama pet. Anyway, yeah, we can't get renewable gravel now, so I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and hunt in the nether for it. What in the? This is my single-player world. Am I right in suspecting there's been progress made without my help, without my influence? People have made progress in the world. What the heck could this portal lead to? Oh, well. That was anticlimactic. Still, it's exciting to see that some progress is being made in this world that is not directly influenced by me. I don't know if you saw earlier, there's a pretty substantial building that Pat Nat was building. I didn't want to spoil it too much, though. He might be making a video on it. I don't think I've shown off this underground area before on in a video. Me and James kind of redesigned the storage for the mob farm. Obviously, we didn't quite finish though. But this is cool. Yay! So I came back to repair my Silk Touch shovel, and it turns out we're actually really close to our goal here. We only need 2 more stacks of dirt. Okay guys, in this chest right here is exactly 1006 pieces of dirt. And we need to plant a tree on every single one of these things somewhere on the server. And that means our first task is going to have to be to figure out where the heck to put it. Alright guys, so I have completely finished placing all 1006 bits of dirt down. It's also a little bit symmetrical up here, as you can see. Just right now, I'm destroying the pathway that leads to that village up there. Just because we don't really, need it anymore. That village doesn't have any villagers in it anymore. So there's really no point in having a road to it. So yeah, this looks really grand and really cool. The next step, I guess, is to place 1006 trees down and hope they grow. Fortunately, this cactus farm thing will come in handy a little bit because all this bone meal will almost certainly be used. Oh wow, we have a lot of cactus. So unfortunately, I don't exactly have enough saplings to do what I wanted to do. I have enough, I guess, if I just wanted to do oak or spruce, but I definitely don't have enough of birch trees. And I want to include one of every type of tree except the dark oak, because that's obviously has to be grown as a four wide log thing. If you're new here and wondering how the heck we got all these saplings, because of wandering traders in 1.15 or 1.14 actually, yeah, they were able to trade with us all of these different types of trees, where before we would have only had oak from what are they called? The blacksmiths. The blacksmiths in the villages. There's a stack of that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we need jungle saplings. This is quite a challenge, actually. Just getting the saplings for this has taken me quite a long time. I feel like I've barely gotten any jungle saplings too. Like I've every time I grow a tree, it yields like one to two saplings. Doesn't look like we're going to get enough jungle saplings actually for this. So we're just gonna stick with the, I guess, oak. We'll go ahead and plant some jungle saplings. Just we don't have a lot. All right, we've got a pretty daunting task ahead of us, but I think we can pull it off. Let's go ahead and start with the saplings we have less of, and then we'll move our way up to the oak and whatnot that we have tons of. I don't know if this is something you guys knew, but if you kill a wandering trader, his llamas will just constantly spit at you. Like they'll never stop. They'll keep spitting you until they kill you. Unfortunately, there's no way to solve this problem. Cool, so that's all the jungle saplings planted. Now we just need, let's say acacia next, because that's what we have the next least of. I'm planting these a little sporadically just because I want it to be more of a mixed bag than anything. Oop, we're missing a dirt there. Whoops. Alright, that's that stack done. Let's move on to birch. Oh, we got our first tree grown. The jungle tree up there has sprung up. Acacia is the second tree that's grown, predictably. Alright, and all we've got left is spruce trees and oak trees. So, yeah, get ready for kind of a time lapse, I guess. Is that it? Do we place all the trees now? Right, well I guess there's nothing enough to do now except just start growing the trees that aren't grown yet. Alright. Because of the way the leaves are growing, I'm just crawling around here. Oh man. Actually, one area I'm really interested in seeing growing up right now is this walkway. Because we need to make sure that the leaves don't, yeah, don't do that, so we're gonna have to cut through them. Aw, that's just so cool. Having a walkway through it too. So this is pretty cool. This is pretty big, but you gotta think of it like in the big picture here, because every one of these trees represents $1 that was raised for Extra Life. And this is insane. Well, I can't really run through here and just bone meal every tree, because at some point I'm gonna run out of bone meal, and this could take, 12 more years. So I think we should just let it grow on its own a little bit naturally too. So far I haven't had any problems growing the trees in their spots, so fortunately they seem to just grow right through each other. Alright, so now, while the trees are growing, I'm going to do a little bit of work here surrounding the area. So I've got myself a ton of fences here that we are going to be placing around the, I guess this is a park now, kind of a national park. Alright, and that's the area fenced off right there. Alright, so we're going to call this place the Cakecore Forest. I think that sums it up nicely. And actually, we have enough fences to fence off this part as well. Okay, so part of this inspiration for this idea, making it kind of like a forest kind of thing, obviously not my original plan. My original plan was simply just to place these trees, but we did need some kind of decoration for it. My inspiration from it basically came from visiting the Grand Canyon, I'm gonna say, just because it was so cool seeing kind of like a big national park like that. Obviously, James and I passed through quite a few national parks on our drive toward California and back again. Some of them even were forests, so yeah, it's just kind of a cool sentiment to have on this server, I think. And it's also kind of weird to have it on this server and not any other, considering that this is kind of the one server you'd be exempt from having a forest in. This is starting to look really cool, fully grown. It's not quite fully grown, but I'd say it's like maybe 80% of the saplings have sprouted to full size, and just, wow, it looks so cool. So guys, right now I'm just running around placing down the final touches, the final little details that I want to add into the forest. Alright, and I think with this last sign here that I'm typing out now, that should be it. So the entire forest is complete, except for a few saplings that haven't completely grown yet. Real quick, before we take a look at the final build, I just want to say thank you to everyone who actually did go and check out the charity event live stream. It was so much fun to do, and I do feel kind of bad that I fell asleep during like the last 8 hours or so, but it's okay. Everyone else, Pat, Nat, Owlton, Bombastic, Danster, Spods, James, and Danny, that's everyone else who was there, all kind of held up the fort while I was away and while I couldn't do it. Some of them were also asleep, but you know. It was a really tough challenge, staying up for 24 hours to do that live stream, but it seriously paid off because we did raise $1,006, as represented here by a tree for every dollar. I just realized the connection of that to Team Trees. You know, that whole Mr. Beast thing that happened last year? Yeah, this is completely unrelated. Didn't even cross my mind about that, but oh well. Yeah, so let's do a quick tour of the final build. So this is the Cakecore Forest. Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple, to be honest. You just go through the trapdoors on the main road here. The axis, this is the south way, by the way. This is toward the south. And yeah, you can just take a lovely look at all the types of trees we have here in the Cakecore Forest, including but not limited to oak, birch, spruce, and acacia wood. Also, there's some jungle wood in there. As you can see, there are also some baby trees left in the forest that maybe will one day sprout into big, beautiful trees like the rest of these. If you fancy going to the cow and pig farms through the dangerous route, you can obviously come through here and wander into the forest. Look at that, there's a baby tree right up in forefront. And this forest is so long, it took us the entire day to get all the way down here, just up to the very end of the initial circle we built. We got these, oh, come on, dude, come on. This is not a great tour if you're just gonna interrupt it like that. Yeah, and then you get the fancy signs that say you're leaving the Cakecore Forest, and on the other side you have the entering the Cakecore Forest signs. I really like this project. It has some kind of sentimental value to me. It'll be kind of my monument, my memorial to my time at the Cakecore Marathon. And yeah, I guess we'll see what James and Spods think eventually on the Cakecore channel, because eventually we're going to be doing another episode of Flatlands SMP on that thing, which is where all the group content goes. Speaking of, it's time for me to end the episode, and wait, what? I only say speaking of because that's usually how I tie into the outro, because the video's ending, which it is. See ya.